Daddy, please stop. Daddy, it's paining me. Daddy, please stop. Daddy, please stop. It's paining me. In the bustling city of Lagos, where the sounds of traffic mingled with the distant rhythm of the marketplace, lived a bright and curious 7-year-old girl named Amara. Her days should have been filled with laughter and innocence, but beneath her cheerful face lay a heart burdened by a dark and unbearable secret. Do not worry, this story will unfold everything. Just stick with me. Amara lived with her parents, her mother Ifeoma, a hardworking woman who owned the most successful restaurant in the city, and her father Emeka, a man who public charm hid his monstrous nature which nobody knew about. Amara adored her mother, but Ifeoma was always busy. She would leave early in the morning to manage the restaurant and often return late at night, exhausted. Her father Emeka worked in a corporate job but frequently comes home under the disguise of taking break from work. It all began one day when Amara was in her room and her father Mr. Emeka came home from work with ice cream for Amara. Amara was very happy to see his dad. He gave her the ice cream and said to her, "I want to show you something, but promise me it will be a little secret between us as father and daughter." She didn't understand. She said, "Yes, daddy," happily, without knowing what was in for her. Her father told her, "Amara, there is something I will tell you now. And remember, this is our little secret." She agreed and nodded her head. And her dad said, "Amara, I want to teach you how to become a woman, but promise me you won't tell anyone, even mommy." Amara, trusting her dad, she nodded her head because who wouldn't trust her dad at a tiny age? And that was how Mr. Emeka, Amara's father, started having intimacy with his daughter. Anytime Mr. Emeka comes back in the afternoon to see Amara, she starts crying because she knows what is in for her. And anytime Mr. Emeka forced himself on her, she starts crying, shouting, "Daddy, please stop. Daddy, it's paining me. Daddy, please stop. Daddy, please stop. It's paining me." But Mr. Emeka, as a wicked man, was not listening at all. All he knows was just to satisfy himself. And she tried to run away most times, but Mr. Emeka would always have his way because no one was around to help her. No one was even at home to even hear her cry. So that was why Mr. Emeka always had the opportunity, and that was why Mr. Emeka always had to come back home in the afternoon while everyone was at their workplace. I know you are wondering where Ifeoma, Amara's mom, is, but do not worry, stick with me and watch how this story is going to unfold. If you guys can remember, I told you guys that Ifeoma, Amara's mom, has one of the biggest restaurants, which made her so busy that she couldn't even have time for her family. All she can think of is money. All she can think of is her business. That was all she could think of in her time. So one day, as she was in her home office, Amara came to her in her home office. Amara tried to tell her many times, but she was too busy because she was calculating, writing down invoice and calculating how much she made. Amara came in front of her. "Mama," she said one morning as Ifeoma was in calculation of food for delivery. "Not now, Amara," Ifeoma replied, distracted. "Talk to me when I get back, okay?" "But mommy, it is really important. I have something to tell you that I don't know who to tell." Amara's small voice trembled with urgency. Ifeoma sighed, looked at her daughter. "Amara, mom is very busy. Please, let her, my love. Mom is really busy now. She's trying to make ends meet so that you can go to school and wear the latest clothes, my love." Amara cried and said, "Mommy, please. Mommy, please." But Ifeoma couldn't listen. Ifeoma turned and walked out of the door. Amara watched her mom rush out of the room, her small hand clenched into a fist. Who could she turn to now? Who could she tell her problem? Who would listen to her if her own mother could not even give her the listening ear? That was all she could think of at that moment. I know you are wondering that Mr. Emeka always had his way during the daytime when nobody is at home. But no, that's not the case. At night, the shadow in their home became Amara's worst fear because her father would creep into her room. His footsteps soft, but his presence would be there. And the mom didn't even know what was happening. She would close her eyes tightly, pretending to sleep, but it never stopped him. Each time she would cry silently in her pillow, hoping someone, anyone would save her. One night, after Emeka came in and had his way, Emeka left her room. She whispered to herself, "Why won't mama listen to me? Why won't my mommy listen to me? Is she not my mom? Is she not more my mom? Maybe she doesn't care about me," she cried. Tears streamed down her cheek as she crawled into a ball, wishing the nightmare would end, which she knows that it was not possible. But she had no one to run to, no one to listen to her. But what can she do except to cry and to console herself at her tender age? But you know, like the adage says, every day for the thief, one day for the owner. One fateful afternoon, Ifeoma forgot her phone at home. At first, she didn't want to go and pick it up. She was feeling reluctant because who will handle her business when she's not there? But all of a sudden, her heart kept on disturbing her. Realizing that it was essential for her business call, she had no other option, but she decided to drive back to her house to retrieve the phone and get back to her business. So as she approached her home, something felt off. Everywhere was quiet, unlike the normal usual noise. The curtains were drawn down and the usual quiet house seemed so very quiet. She entered the house and called out, "Amara, Amara." No one answered, but she looked and saw Emeka's bag and she said, "Emeka, Amara," but no one answered. She was scared. So as she walked towards their bedroom to retrieve her phone and check up on her daughter, she heard a sound, a quiet sound like someone crying. She kept quiet to know where the sound was coming from, and it was coming from one of the bedroom, and which was Amara's bedroom. She walked towards the bedroom, but the door of the bedroom was slightly open. And then she was like, "Let me get my phone from my room. Then on my way out, I'm going to check up on Amara to know why she's crying." As she was about leaving, she heard the soft sob again coming from Amara's room. Then one heart asked her to turn and check. She froze when she heard Amara's sob. Pushing the door open, what she saw made her heart stop. Emeka was carrying Amara on his laps on Amara's bed. His hands were where they should never have been. She was so shocked. "Emeka!" Ifeoma screamed, her voice shaking the walls. Emeka jumped up. His face paled because he wasn't expecting Ifeoma to come back home. "Ifeoma, I can explain." "Explain what?" she cried, her voice breaking. "What have you done to my daughter?" she shouted. "Emeka, you have finished me. How can you do this to your own daughter? Your own blood, someone you should be protecting. Is this how to be a father, Emeka? Tell me, is this it?" Amara stood up, ran to her mother, holding her tightly as she sobbed uncontrollable. Ifeoma looked at Emeka with a disgusted look, and then she turned to her daughter. "I am sorry, Amara. I am sorry," as she knelt down. "Mommy is so sorry for not listening to you," she said, as tears rolled down her eyes as she holds her daughter very tightly and regretted her decisions. In the living room, the air was tense as Ifeoma stood across from Emeka, her face a mist of fury and heartbreak. Amara sat nearby holding a pillow to her chest, her eyes swollen from crying. So you have been doing this all along, haven't you? Ifeoma demanded, her voice trembling. Every time you come home early, every night that I was too busy to notice. How could you? Ifeoma said, crying. Emeka stammered, I'm sorry, Ifeoma. It was a mistake. Mistake? She interrupted, her voice rising. You ruined our daughter's life. You betrayed her. How can you call yourself a father? Is this what fatherhood is all about? She shouted. Amara whispered, Mommy, I tried to tell you. I tried so many times, but you couldn't listen. You couldn't give attention to me. I tried. Amara cried. Ifeoma sank on the chair and carried Amara on her laps and said, Oh my baby, I am sorry. I am so sorry I didn't listen to you. I should have protected you, but instead I was too busy chasing the worldly thing and forgot what I am meant to protect. I am so sorry, she said. Ifeoma wasted no time. She picked up her phone and she called the police and reported Emeka's action. Within hours, Emeka was arrested. His public reputation shattered. The neighbors whispered in disbelief as he was led away in half-cuff. Ifeoma filed for divorce immediately and sought therapy for Amara immediately because she wanted her daughter to heal. She also started a campaign to raise awareness about child abuse, using her restaurant as a platform to host events and provide resources for family. And she enrolled Amara with a therapist to make sure her daughter could get all the healing she could get. One evening, as they sat together in their now quieted home, Amara looked up at her mother. Mommy, will I ever feel happy again? Ifeoma stroked her daughter's hair gently. Yes, my love. It will take time, but we will heal together. You are brave. You are beautiful. And I promise I will never let anything like this happen to you again. I promise to take care of you. I promise to always listen to you whenever you tell me anything. I am sorry, but trust me, we are going to heal and you are going to be fine. Months turned into years, and though the scar remained, Amara grew stronger and was now happier. Ifeoma became an advocate for child rights, and Amara found her voice and became a happy child. The city remembered their story as one of the heartbreaks and the power of a mother's love when awakened. And though the shadow of the past lingered, Amara and Ifeoma walked forward into the light together. So the moral lesson of this story is to please pay attention to your children. No matter the business you are doing, try as much as you can to always bring out time for them. Show them love and always listen to them. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you do, please do well to subscribe and leave a nice and wonderful comment in the comment section. Thank you and see you guys in the next story. Bye.